Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We the Buds help you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the full swing of playoff action now.
We are.
We've got hockey playoffs in the middle of the first round. Basketball's in the NBA's in the middle of the first round. NFL draft is tomorrow night. They obviously Major League Baseball season is going on. So we got a lot of sports action to dive into.
Big stuff.
A lot of sports action to dive into. So let's go ahead and get this party started here because we got Blues hockey. Let's see. Come on, Blues. We need to pull out some shit here at home.
Start out with the Blues. They're down 0-2 versus Winnipeg. It comes down to even strength goals right now. They've scored one even strength goal in the series in 6 periods. 3 power play goals. I mean, the power play's doing what it's supposed to do, but they're just not generating chances at even strength. The high danger chances at even strength are 20-7 in favor of Winnipeg. So
they do very good pressuring the puck, man. I mean, the Blues have a hard time once they get it across the blue line in the offensive zone. They've been struggling to really make anything happen.
And unfortunately, Winnipeg's best players are just playing better.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas is a -4. You've got
Connor
is -3.
Man, Connor has been fucking going
amazing.
nuts, man. I mean, he's been going nuts for them.
So it's starting to show the Dylan Holloway injury.
Yes, I mean we're seeing that big time. I mean,
it's forced them to juggle lines a little bit, and they just don't have the same. I mean, this is a guy that was second on the team in goals with 26.
Right.
He was tied for second on the team for assists and third overall in points. So, I mean, he is an integral part of your offense this year.
What's been nice, though, what I'd like to see is Snuggeroo has looked good.
He has.
I mean, like that's going to be a very
He's going to be a legit goal scorer for sure.
Absolutely.
In the other series, you've got Dallas and Colorado tied 1-1. You knew that one was going to be a battle. Vegas and the Wild are all tied at 1-1.
Yes.
Wild really shook.
Put it to him last night.
Put it to him 6-2 last night. And the Kings won game 1 in a wild shootout over Edmonton 6-5. That one's going to be a high-scoring series for sure. And over in the East, you've got Toronto over the Senators 2-0. I mean, we fully expected Toronto to win that series.
Yeah, I mean, Berube's got those boys ready and they're buzzing.
And, I mean, they came out early in game 2. The Sens battled back, but ultimately Toronto's just a better team. Yeah. Florida jumped all over Tampa Bay last night.
Oh, yeah.
And put a pounding on them in their own building.
Chuck came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, 2 goals. I mean, he looked sharp as ever.
Back with a vengeance.
And then Washington, they play tonight against Montreal. They're up 1-0 in that series. Ovi did something he had never done in his whole career, which was score an overtime goal in the playoffs.
Which is a wild thing.
Yeah, that is a wild thing.
It's a wild thing.
And then Carolina, they are controlling that series versus New Jersey. As it goes back to New Jersey, we'll see if New Jersey can get back into it.
All right. Well, it's NHL playoffs first round. I mean,
yep.
And these series are far from over because, you know how that goes with hockey. I mean, there's not like a...
So, against Winnipeg back in 19 when we won the Cup, we went up into Winnipeg and won those first 2 games and then came home and dropped the next 2.
Right,
so, I mean, the Blues just got to take care of business at home and we'll be fine.
Exactly, yeah. Just get there and take care of these 2 games at home and hopefully we'll go ahead and have a chance to have a fight. At least if nothing else, make it a long series.
Yeah, I mean, just don't get swept.
Because you're a year ahead of schedule, honestly, as far as where this team is at. So, I mean, if they get nothing else, just make it a long series.
Yeah, I would not be upset if they lose this series at all. They weren't even supposed to be there.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the next up we got the Cardinals baseball here that's been going on, which has been not very pretty.
So they dropped another one today.
Yeah, 4-1. They were losing one. I mean, Michaelis actually pitched a good game.
He did.
He actually pitched a good game today. They were 1-0 game going into the 7th inning, 8th inning. I think they had the Braves had a late 3-run home run.
Yep.
They got them, pushed them ahead. I mean, so as far as like where the Cardinals are at,
that bullpen is awful.
Yeah, the bullpen is absolutely awful. I mean, we got 148 games
left
to
go. 137 games left.
Yeah, 137 games left. So I mean, we got a long way to go before we see what happens there. But there's a lot of promising things with the team, though. Defensively, they actually are in the top in major leagues in fielding.
They look good.
Top in offensive performances. You got Brendan Donovan, who's leads
the league in hits.
Leads the league in hits as far as for the National League. I mean, so the only person that has a higher batting average right now, I think, is Aaron Judge, as of what I saw a couple days ago. So I mean, I think there's a lot of things to be hopeful for.
Going over the league leaders, it's funny that you say that because Donovan does lead all of baseball with 32 hits. Arenado leads all of baseball with 3 intentional walks.
Nice.
He's been walked more intentionally than anybody. This one is the one that surprised me. Matthew Liberatore, pitching as a starter this year, has the lowest walks per 9 in baseball. and the highest K to walk ratio.
To walk ratio,
yeah.
okay.
So he's thrown 25 innings this year. He's given up 2 walks so far.
All right, but you know what? I mean, that's a good sign for Liberatore because, I mean, that's somebody who you ever been really high on.
Right. He's actually looked really good so far.
So if we can actually get that shift of him becoming a good prominent starter, at least, and to me, I see him, I project him being like a more like, at best, ceiling second starter.
Right.
At worst, your fourth starter.
You're only going to get a couple of good years out of him. Yeah, he's no Jamie Moore.
No, not at all, not at all. But I mean, so let's go Cards, see what happens here going forward in the season.
There is one other troubling thing. Jordan Walker on this road trip. They're 1-6 on the road trip, so it's been a god awful road trip. But Jordan Walker went 1 for 23 with 9 strikeouts. So he's kind of reverting back to some of that crap we saw last year that got him sent back to the minors.
Yeah, so. But I mean, that's baseball. I mean, honestly, he probably shouldn't have been sent back to the minors last year when he was.
No, he probably shouldn't.
Sometimes you got to let these guys struggle through the woes and long season of baseball and just kind of figure out how to get themselves back on stride.
But yeah, that's the Cardinals. They're 10-15. They're damn near in the basement. The Pirates are nipping at their heels.
Right. I mean, they're right there. I mean, but then again, you got the Brewers coming to town this weekend. So I mean, they'll go ahead and they handle their business against the Brewers this weekend, and they should be okay as far as being able to battle. Apparently, everybody's chasing the Cubs right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much who seems to be cream of the crop in this division.
All right, that's what I got.
All right, so then Cardinals baseball. So next up, we got the association. So NBA basketball, and the playoffs has been heating up, and it's been very good as far as exciting playoffs. We got the Pacers are up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Bucks. That has seemed to be like a new age rivalry that's actually kicked in. It seems to be a pretty exciting matchup.
It should be too. I mean, they're really close geographically.
Yeah, so. I mean, close geographically, but even like so, what you have is a matchup between Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton. There's a lot of love-hate relationship going on right there. Halliburton said that Lillard was one of his favorite players coming up into the league. Now he's there now, and Lillard kind of called him out as being one of the overrated players in the league. And Halliburton's like, nah, man, I'm that dude. I mean, so I'm impressed by that. Right. Knicks and Pistons are 1-1 in that series there. I think we got Jason Tatum is out. I think right now he suffered a hand contusion.
Really?
Yeah, suffered a hand contusion on his hand there on the game the other night. And so, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Celtics.
So Orlando's got a chance to crawl back in that one.
They got a chance to crawl back. I don't really see it happening because the Celtics are really, really deep.
Good.
They're a really, really deep team. So I have a hard time seeing them winning the series overall. But I could make it a lot tighter going forward with that in that series there. And then the next one we had was who was the last?
Cavs and Heat.
Cavs and Heat.
They took care of game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the Cavs losing to the Heat on this. Right. I mean, this series here, the Cavs are going to kind of cruise through. The West is what's been loaded right now. So we'll start out with as far as going with the OKC. OKC is an absolute wagon. I mean, they are monsters. They've been killing it. They are very deep all the way around on their roster, and their team has been like looking absolutely outstanding.
I expect a sweep in this.
Oh yeah, if they don't get a sweep, I'd be surprised. But if not, it'd be the gentleman's sweep as far as like a 4-1 like series sweep. But it also too, so then you got the Lakers and the Timberwolves.
Yep.
Lakers and Timberwolves. That's going to be a tough matchup, I think, going back and forth because Anthony Edwards is a dog. I mean, he's going to fight and scrap. But I mean, until they figure out how to get Rudy Gobert off of Luka, because Luka was like lighting him up. Yeah, there actually was I actually saw a clip on Twitter where Luka was like, send him to the bench. Send him to the bench after he busted like his 4th jumper in a row on him. Man. I mean, so, Luka's like killing him. It's like Rudy Gobert seemed to be the weak duckling in the bunch that they're actually going after and killing on that series. So we'll see as far as how that goes in that series. And then the next one we had was the Warriors and the Rockets. The Warriors look like they're pretty much going to be able to handle the Rockets.
Right.
As of right now, we'll see what happens.
Houston's up 1-0 right now.
Oh, I know, but the Warriors won. I think the Warriors, I thought, won the first game.
Did I? Maybe I got it wrong. I probably wrote it down.
I thought they were up 1-0.
I thought Houston won that one. Let me double check.
Yeah, I thought the Warriors were up 1-0. I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I thought that's how that one fell in that standing. And then the fourth series in that league over there was who was we had?
You're right.
Warriors at 1-0. So then the fourth series, I think, in that one was who was that? Clippers.
Oh yeah, Denver.
Denver's and the Clippers, which I think that's going to be the best series of the first round.
It's tied 1-1. So
yeah, it's 1-1 series right now. I think that's going to be the best series of the first round. That probably is going to go. If it doesn't go 7 games, I'll be shocked.
Okay.
I think back and forth because Kawhi Leonard is back and he's out there producing with James Harden out there doing the beard things, and then you got Nikola Jokic. I mean, he's going to do Jokic things. I mean, and it's going to be a battle.
Okay,
it's going to be a battle. So we'll see that. I think that's going to go 7 games.
Yeah, I believe there's 3 games in the NHL tonight and 3 games in basketball as well.
So I mean, we were in the playoff swing, brother.
Yes, we are.
All right, so here's my time of the year here. So I'm going to dive into this real quick here. So I got a little mock draft that I threw out here for this for the first round of the draft here. So back in the day, the draft actually used to be a 2-day event. You used to get the rounds 1 through 3 on Saturday, and then you get rounds 4 through 7 on Sunday. Right. I used to lock in the entire time because I'm very fascinated by the draft. I always like to see who the up-and-comers are, who might be somebody who could break out here. So I'm going to dive and I'll kind of speedball this here through this 32 picks here that we got.
All right, what you got?
All right, so first pick off of number all. Nobody's surprised by this. We got Cam Ward to the Titans. I mean, pretty much that's pretty much what's locked in right now. Somebody would have to give a king's ransom, which nobody wants to give away right now to the Titans. So Cam Ward going to the first pick. My number 2 pick is Cleveland Browns going with Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter with the number 2 pick. Number 2 pick for Travis Hunter. The number 3 pick, I got Abdul Carter out of Penn State, their edge rusher. I think right now I don't see them really reaching because they brought in the 2 veteran quarterbacks when you got Russell Wilson and you also brought in Jameis Winston. Mm-hmm. So I mean they're having those 2 veteran quarterbacks right now, and you got a GM that might be on the verge of being out. You got a coach that might be on the verge of being out. So it's hard to really see them bringing in a rookie quarterback to develop in a regime that might change completely.
Right.
So that's where I kind of went with Abdul Carter. The Patriots. So the Patriots, this is one that's going to be interesting going forward here. I think Will Campbell, he's the offensive tackle out of LSU. They need to bolster that offensive line. They have to get that offensive line solidified a little bit more. So Will Campbell, he's been kind of projected with a little bit of short arms for a tackle, but outside that, I mean, if he's a ball player, he's a ball player. He'll figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's what they're saying.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, little T-Rex arms, for being a tackle, which still is probably longer than either one of our arms I put together. But so next up we got the Jaguars at the number 5 pick, and mind you, I had no trades involved in this. I just went straight picks, no trades, because trying to project trades in the NFL draft, I mean, like that's kind of not being privy to any inside information and not being able to pick up a phone call and talk to GMs. So I'm going with what I feel like teams will need. So the Jaguars, I got them drafting Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State, who's a monster. And the reason why, because they let go of what's his name?
Mercedes Lewis?
No, not Mercedes Lewis.
Who was
what's the kid's name they had last year?
Evan Ingram?
Yeah, Evan Ingram. Yep, Evan Ingram. So they let Evan Ingram go. So Evan Ingram is gone. So I see them probably going Tyler Warren on that pick. And then the Raiders going with Ashton Gentry. Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty going to Raiders at number 6. Yeah, because you got Pete Carroll up there who loves to run the rock. Right. I mean, he got a new version of his Marshawn. It's not quite as big as Marshawn. More comps to more of a Maurice Jones-Drew. He's probably kind of what he looks like there. And then the Jets going with Mizzou.
The Mizzou guy.
Armand Mimbo. Armand Mimbo got tackled at number 7. The Panthers, I got them going with Jalen Walker, the linebacker out of Georgia.
Okay.
Jalen Walker with the linebacker out of Georgia. You can kind of put him on the outside linebacker, inside linebacker. He's a pretty versatile player. You can rush him off the edge. The Saints, I got Michael Williams, the another Georgia player, edge out of Georgia with the Saints. A lot of people think he might, that was a spot for Shedeur Sanders, but I just don't really see them going.
Is this the one that only has the...
No, you're thinking of Shamar Stewart, which we'll get to him later. So but Michael Williams, he's the edge out of Georgia. He's a solid player there. Then the Bears, I got him going with Kelvin Banks Jr. out of these offensive tackles out of Texas. So, I mean, I think just them solidifying that line a little bit more. They did a lot to solidify that line a lot, but, I mean, they really got to lock in. Ben Johnson understands the importance of offensive line, what he did in Detroit. I really see them solidifying that a little bit more. Then I got the Niners. The Niners go with Mason Graham. Mason Graham's probably your truest 3 technique in here, where that means somebody who can manage the inside and dominate the inside, plug up holes, and command a double team on a regular routine basis. Out of Michigan. Then next up, I got the Cowboys. Cowboys, a lot of people...
Where are they going? Where do you think they're going?
All right, so here's where a lot of people don't think about the Cowboys. So the Cowboys lost Zach Martin. And a lot of times people think oh man, Cowboys go high profile. But one of the things that actually has helped the Cowboys be a good drafting team is they've done a good job drafting offensive linemen. Yeah. And so I like Tyler Booker. Okay. Tyler Booker coming out of Alabama. He's a guard. He's inside guard. He's a mauler. I think somebody can help solidify that inside after losing Zach Martin.
I like it.
And then next up is the Dolphins at number 13 with Walter Nolan coming out of. He's a defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. So he's another inside interior guy. Not quite a pure 3 technique, but he still is solid enough to hold up in the middle there. The Dolphins have lost so many pieces. I mean, they can go in so many ways, but I think from a value pick at this early in the draft, Walter Nolan is probably the best pick for them going forward. Then 14, I got the Colts with Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland, he's a tight end out of Michigan.
Oh, really? Another tight end.
Yeah, another tight end because this was a very deep tight end draft. Very deep tight end draft. So Colston Loveland out of Michigan, they had that weapon for that offense. You got to dive in there.
I think they would need some offensive line help themselves.
Yeah, they could, but I mean, they've got another. They have to give whoever, whether it be Anthony Richardson or whether it be Daniel Jones. So they have to give him another weapon that's kind of easy red zone target because they found that some of those big guys they had haven't been prolific as they'd like to. And let's spin it back and forth, Loveland and Warren, which one's a better tight end?
Pick first?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, so then they get Falcons. I like them to go with Jihad Campbell. He was a linebacker out of Alabama. Explosive linebacker, go sideline to sideline. As far as for play, the Falcons have not drafted a defensive player in the first round in about 4 or 5 seasons now. Right. So I think right now, with them doing the pick last year, where they had Michael Penix Jr. going in, I think they're going to go maybe have to focus on the defensive side, especially with having a defensive coach with Raheem Morris. All right, so then the Cardinals, I got Jahdae Barron. I don't know if I'm saying that first name right. Jahdae Barron. But so Jahdae Barron had one of the faster corner times. He wasn't the fastest corner time, but one of the faster corner times. He's a DB out of Texas with the Cardinals. The Cardinals actually have done some sneaky good draft picking for the last couple of years. We saw Trey McBride actually got extended coming up this last offseason. And I see them having to solidify that corner position there. Then the Bengals, I like James Pierce Jr., edge out of Tennessee. If Trey Hendrickson actually walks away from that team, I like James Pierce Jr. being that plug-in play as far as to replace Trey Hendrickson if he ends up going to another
if he goes to another team, which you could very well see
because they already lost Sam Hubbard because Sam Hubbard retired, so they got like a lot of defensive front. They're gonna have to replace that there. So then the Seahawks, I like. This is one that I don't like. A lot of people kind of probably went against this in the draft, but I like Terrell McMillan.
The wide receiver.
The wide receiver out of Arizona. 6'4" guy who he comps a lot with Mike Williams.
They need to replace Lockett.
And they lost Lockett, and they also lost DK Metcalf. So I like Terrell McMillan go into the Seahawks at number 18. Number 19, I like Mike Green. He's an edge rusher out of Marshall. So he played out of he had the 17 sacks last year. Edge rusher out of Marshall for the Bucs. The Buccaneers actually need to help. I think they need a little bit more help in the pass rush going forward. There are several things they could probably use. I had some people I saw a comp having a wide receiver getting drafted there, but I don't see them investing, keeping Mike Evans back, bringing Kiss Bobby back, and then they also had Jermaine McMillan, from Washington that they got last year. And then the Broncos at number 20, I like Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. That's going to probably be a great prime pick right there. He's getting a lot of comps from Scary Terry McLaurin. Going to the Broncos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a 4-year starter. He's a guy that's kind of got lost in the shuffle because you had Marvin Harrison Jr. People forgot about him. Then Jeremiah Smith. People forgot about him. Right. But this dude's been a solid player the whole time. So I like that going in that end there. So the 21 pick, I got the Steelers at Shedeur Sanders.
You got them taking Sanders. Huh?
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders with the Steelers at 21. It kind of seems to be where everybody's kind of leading to and copying him going to that range. Because I mean, even if they get Aaron Rodgers in the building, they're going to have to have. They need to have somebody who's going to be ready to be a predecessor. Somebody to be a follow-up plan after Aaron Rodgers. All right, so then the Chargers, I like the Chargers with Kenneth Grant. Kenneth Grant's a D tackle. He's probably one of your other true 3 techniques coming out of Michigan. And so so that's a Harbaugh guy. Harbaugh knows him very well. I think he'd be able to maximize his talents very well going there up to the Chargers because Harbaugh he's gonna deal with those trenches first before anything else building a team. All right, so then we got the 23 pick. I like Matthew Golden. This is outside of what the Packers normally do at number 23 first round pick. He's a wide receiver out of Texas. I think he ran the second fastest 40 time. But you heard him at the end of the season. They really kind of soured on Romeo Doubs, and they like what's his face?
Watkins is always hurt.
Yeah, he's Christian Watson's always hurt all the time. So they need somebody to be a guy coming in here. Okay. So I think Matthew Golden would be somebody that they'd be kind of look at. Then in this next one here, the Vikings, Malachi Starks. He's a safety out of Georgia. Okay. He's a do-it-all safety. He plays some nickel. He kind of covers in. I think he can fill a lot of holes for the Vikings right there, especially because they lost Bynum to the Colts and then free agency. and then Harrison Smith is getting a little bit older, so they really need to solidify that back end. So Malachi Starks is who I like for the Vikings at 24. Then they got the Texans. The Texans have to go offensive line here.
Yeah, no,
absolutely have to go down offensive line. So we got Donovan Jackson, guard out of Ohio State. Well, I mean, that means, C.J. Stroud, somebody he'd be familiar with as far as I don't know how much they played together in college, but I know that he's still familiar being like once these guys are affiliated with the university.
You get to know them.
Yeah, you get to know them and know. So I think Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. Then with the Rams. Now, so this is one pick here that actually I see is being highly projected to be traded. Here where the Giants might trade to get back in and to try and go for Jackson Dart, but I told you I wasn't going with trades. I'm going to leave this alone. Right. So if I pick the Rams to stay at this pick, I like them to go with Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina.
Okay.
Because you got Kyron Williams who's going to be coming up on his rookie option coming up here soon.
Yep.
So at some point they're going to have to figure out how to, all right, either we're going to re-sign this dude or we're going to bring another running back in. Either way, it's still kind of a 2 running back system most of the time in the NFL.
Most of the time anyway.
And so I see that being a nice pickup for them coming in for the Rams. All right, the next up I got the Ravens. This is a total Ravens pick here. Josh Simmons, he's offensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Okay.
So Josh Simmons actually suffered a patella injury in October of the season. That's the only reason why they projected him to drop this far. He actually might be one of the best tackles in this draft right here, but he got an injury there. Perfect Ravens pickup.
Right.
They always get these guys that are locked in their pros, and they're like, man, damn it, why do we do that? How did he get to him? All right, so the next up, I like the Lions are going to go, in my opinion, Will Johnson. Will Johnson he's a cornerback out of Michigan, stud player. He had a foot injury last year, but he's prone to make big plays. He ran a slow 40 time. And I think he ran like a 4.58, but I go again, there's some injuries I think to factor into that. But he's a big play cornerback. They put him on the opposite side of Terry Arnold.
And they still need help back there. In that
yes, exactly. So, I think cornerback is where they might go there on that end. All right, so the Commanders, this is the guy we talked about earlier, Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M.
This is the guy that everybody says he's all potential and no.
He had 4.5 sacks in college. He had 4. But the thing is, when you look at his hurries, you look at his rushes. But for me, I look at the finishes. But I can see the Commanders going through and going that be a pick for them because that's a more of a need value pick going there at this stage of the draft. And then the Bills. The Bills going with Derek Harmon. He's a defensive lineman out of Oregon. And so the defensive lineman out of Oregon, Derek Harmon, he's a solid player there coming in. I think the Bills are going to have to kind of go for it to kind of solidify their front.
Okay.
Because I think that they were probably looking for somebody like Malachi Starks. And so if Malachi Starks was available, I can see that getting projected to the Bills. But if he's already gone off the table, I can see Derek Harmon being that best value pick for them at number 30. All right, then the Kansas City Chiefs. So this guy was actually rated higher. He's a smaller school guy out of North Dakota State. Gray Zabel. He's a guard center out of North Dakota State. So we all know and we saw that Super Bowl. 4-man rush. You get dominated by a 4-man rush. They've got to solidify that offensive line. That's got to be something they got to bolster up as much as they possibly can. Can't really afford to go any other position, in my opinion, outside. So this guy still falls available because he is actually rated very high. And if you want to know about North Dakota State is a powerhouse that has been winning national championship after national championship in the FCA, at the FCS level. So they produce ball players. I don't know how they do that shit over and over again because who the hell wants to go live in North Dakota? But somehow they do it. All right, and so then to finish up the 32 pick overall, I got Donovan Esmeraka. He's actually an edge rusher out of Boston College for the Eagles. The Eagles lost a lot on their defensive front. They lost a lot on defensive front, so I feel like they had to. Because there's some people that projected him to go defensive back, but I don't see them going defensive back because they spent a first round, a second round pick on defensive back last year.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I see them kind of rounded up, and that's my round one mock draft. It shoots off tomorrow night.
It is tomorrow night. Kicks off at 7, right?
Yes, kicks off at 7 o'clock. Yep, 7 o'clock Central Time. 7 o'clock Central Time. So that's kind of my round one mock draft of what I kind of deep dived into what was going to happen going forward there.
Well, it's on record now. Let's see how many you get.
Yeah, let's see how many I get. Let's go here. So I put it out on the record, put that shit out there to go, and so let's see what happens, baby.
All right, cool.
All right. So that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all we got for the action for this week. So just make sure you guys tune into the draft. Hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comments section. Make sure you guys keep tuning in. We'll keep providing that content for you guys on a regular basis. Shout out to Director Dave for keeping us on the 1s and 2s. Shout out to True on the Track for blessing us with those beats. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.